It's starting to feel like fall. And I am tempted to start decorating, but I've been holding off because, you know. You know what? Oh! Hello and happy September. That means happy Halloween. As a direct result of me loving the season of autumn and Halloween so much, I think it's pretty clear that that drips down into my fashion sense. I'm confident in saying that about 92% of my wardrobe is autumn colors. So this week I am going to make some more, round it off to an even 95%. In all honesty, I don't quite even know what my style is anymore. I'd like to call this one Whiskey Grandpa Tends to His Crops. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with that. I am a big advocate on wearing what you want to wear, and if that is completely different day to day, then power to you. And for me, I suppose that means 50 Shades of Hobbit. A couple days ago, I went to a local antique store, which I haven't been to since the start of all this. A lot of my fabric stash comes from a specific seller in that store. I don't know where they're coming up with these vintage fabrics, but they have just some prime cuts. And I will willingly admit my fabric stash has been dwindling. I beelined right to this booth and I grabbed a lot of fabric. So let me show you. Oh my God. Oh God. So yeah, let's see. So I've got 3 fabrics here, and then I've got more in this bag that my sister gave me. A lady never discusses the size of her fabric stash, except I just did. And it's small. Blech. So let me go through these really quick. Is this brown gingham? This herringbone, maybe? No, is that completely wrong? These two, which are the same, very autumny. And last but not least, is this. Here we go. Altogether, this cost me around $80. Sounds steep, but when you think about how much fabric I actually got, it's not that bad. Same kind of color palette. In fact, if I had to do a reenactment of the checking out process, those are all the same color. No. This one's yellow. I'm here to tell you that no, these are not all the same color. They're very different. I need to decide what I want to make this week. Do you think these are all the same color? Good answer. I think with my newfound love of pinafores, mixed with my love of skirts, I want to make something that's a little bit a hybrid of those two. I do have this pattern from McCall's. It is a vintage pattern from some point in time, 1991. I think this is far too small for me, but we can still make it work. And also, this bitch looks like me. Yes. Now, as far as fabrics for this, with this baby. For the second item of clothing, I think instead of a skirt, which is definitely what I gravitate towards, I want to make a top, which I don't often do, and when I do, it's usually a vest. I'm gonna try to challenge myself to make a blouse. And to do this, I think I will probably end up hodgepodging a couple different patterns. So very quickly, let me show you the kind of overall design I'm thinking for that. So for the top, I wanted to do something kind of timeless and almost Victorian looking. So I want a really fitted bodice and then, of course, puffy sleeves. Now to actually pull this off, I'm definitely gonna have to Frankenstein a couple things. So my thinking is that I'm gonna start with a pattern that you have probably already seen me use because I use it a lot. This baby. To do this, very similar to my Lizzie Bennett dress, I am probably going to extend it out so I can do buttons instead of laces. In addition to this, I'm going to attempt to add some poofy sleeves. I think I might end up using probably version A. Cut the sleeve short, so actually it will kind of look like this, maybe. I'm a big fan I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of 3/4 sleeves, just because, you know, I feel like it gives you a lot more mobility. This is iced coffee. I've got a lot of comments about people being confused as to what I was drinking. So yeah, it's just coffee, but also the elixir of life. So theoretically, I should be able to Frankenstein these two patterns. For this blouse, I decided to go with this fabric. So that is the plan for both of these garments. I'm excited. I'm excited to make cute clothes. Sir, please remove your buttocks from my field of view. That's worse. So without further ado, let's bust into this pattern. All right. Oh. Okay, I did not realize that. One of them is a skirt. One of them is actually pants. Secret pants. Let's do it. Huh? Why not? We're gonna make some secret pants, my friends. Doesn't look too complicated here. I think the best thing to do right now is just start cutting the pattern pieces out and then figure out which ones I need. Photo. Okay, so I have cut out all the pattern pieces that I need. This is the waist, or half of the waist. So that's the front, side, back. There's the pockets. These are the two panels. You've got the back and the front. There's going to be two of each, and then they will attach to create a secret pants. And of course, the sleepy baby. So now that those are all cut out, I am going to lay the fabric out and start pinning these pattern pieces to the fabric. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm not completely done yet, but I have pinned most of the things down. So to solve my problem of this not being my size, go in before I cut and add just extra seam allowances here. Obviously a normal person would do a mock-up, but it's me. One panel pinned, I need to do the second panel, and then I need to put the strap on. Oh, scratch that. I need to pin the strap. Typical. By the way, I did find my fabric scissors. Finally. Ta-da! Good morning. Alright, so it is now day 2. I cut all the pieces out of the fabric, so that includes the waist sections. Now for the waist sections, I basically kept the pattern pieces the same on the top and bottom, but I left a little bit of extra room on the sides. Pinned them all briefly together, tried them on, even though there's only half of them. It stretched well beyond what I needed them to do, so. But I think with proper seam allowance, when I put them together, they should fit pretty well. And I would rather these pieces be too big than too small. Instruct me. So next step, attach pant legs together and put some pockets in there. And then we start working on the waist. Today is actually not 85 degrees out, so it's starting to feel like fall. And I am tempted to start decorating, but I've been holding off because, you know, You know what? Oh! These pants have broken me. I literally followed every single instruction that it gave me, and you know, they didn't look right. I put the pockets on, I sewed the pant legs together, or what I thought were the pant legs, and then I turned it inside out and I got something that looks like this.
What is that?
I don't understand. I think this is somehow like sideways. Yeah, okay. I think I understand what I did wrong. I got a lot of work to do to fix this. I think I went completely sideways with this rather than it's supposed to be this way. Remind me again why I don't particularly enjoy the process of sewing. That is why, because everything is super confusing. See that? Okay, I have got the waist all pinned. This is the inside of it. Now I have just pressed these open, so I'm going to put the zipper facing the outside. For the interfacing, I have a duplicate waist section here. Pin it on the outside and then turn it inside out. But for now, it's zipper time. And there we go. Not my best, but sweetly not my worst. Obviously the pattern came with straps, but what I think I want to do, just want to sew on a few buttons here and there because I recently just got some vintage suspenders, the fancy kind that have the actual button loops. I'll probably do the hand sewing and hemming tonight and then maybe tomorrow work on the buttons. This took me pretty much all day because I messed up a few times, but I'm getting pretty good at the seam ripper, so that's good. I will see you tomorrow. I realized it is incredibly dark in here. The pit of despair. These skirts, well, secret pants, are complete. They're so stinking cute and I'm so excited. You will see that in the reveal. This floor is so squeaky. For now, I'm going to move on to our second project, which is the blouse. I am going to use this pattern. This pattern is pretty easy. It has my modifications for Lizzie on it right now, but I think I'll probably cut this back down. The front piece, the side, the back, which you cut on the fold so that it folds out. I'm going to make the bodice so that I have something to put the sleeves onto, so I suppose we can start doing that. Side note, I am now fully caught up with my favorite podcast, My Favorite Murder. I don't know what to do now. What do I listen to? Please leave your podcast suggestions down below because I'm overwhelmed. All right, let's get started. The front, side, and back. Now I just have to pin them all together, which I will do right now. Wow. I'm gonna try this on and make sure that it fits before I start sewing everything together. I've stitched everything together. It fits pretty darn well. So what I think I'm gonna do now, probably the interfacing. Basically what I think I'm gonna do is kind of trace the edges, make a strip of fabric to go along that. I will sew it on top of the outside and then turn inside out. I will eventually be adding like a little band along the bottom, I believe. I'll try to do that. I want to do the sleeves. I don't remember where I put it. Where? Nope. Where did you go? Okay. Version A. Let's see what I need to cut out for that. Looks like there's only 2 parts to this, but now it's just a matter of finding it. Womp womp. Okay, here we go. Here's my criticism of the sewing world is that I wish patterns had a little note saying on this paper is this, this, and this, so that you don't have to unfold this gigantic thing just to find that the one piece that you need is not included. Nope. Having a jolly old time. Okay, here are the 2 pieces. I won't need most of this. This is the most important part. If anything, I'll probably just use this tiny section where it goes into the shoulder. You just gather the bottom and it forms a nice little poof. Update. I have made little armbands right here. Cut the sleeves out, joined them together. So right now they kind of look like, you know, groovy 70s sleeves. My next step is to gather this nice little puff sleeves, and then I will attach that end to the cuff. Then we can go ahead and start attaching this to the shoulder hole of the vest. Start gathering. Cute. Very poofy. Attach and such. It's gonna be a little tricky because if you can tell, that is a little abnormal. Normally it would be a lot more rounded, which I probably should have considered when I was cutting out the pattern, but I will be doing it like so. This blouse is actually going a lot smoother than I expected. Don't smite me, sewing gods. Of course. Literally not 3 seconds after I hit the stop button, this happens. Why? I told you the sewing gods are like, oh, you say this project is going smoothly, eh? Bud, I gotta work. Just a PSA, even though it's autumn in your mind, it is not autumn outside. I'm sweaty. My sugar and spice candle. Oh, everything nice. Little wrap up. They are finally done. I am very excited to have 2 more things in my wardrobe that I will actually wear. I find that I tend to wear the things that I make a lot more frequently than things that I don't make. Now, I don't know if that's just because I'm proud of myself or if the whole reason I'm trying to get into making my own stuff is because you can make it so specific to how you want it. The split skirt, or secret pants as I like to call it, is my favorite. They truly are secret. Just between you and me. Because no one else is gonna know their pants. I'm glad that I went with suspenders for that too. I think it really adds to it. Now the shirt definitely came out a little more saucy than I had planned. I don't have a whole lot of low-cut shirts, so I think it's good to have a range. I kind of feel like I should be working in a tavern and or a younger version of Winifred Sanderson, and I don't think the wig or the skirt helped with that. It is what it is. Fitting a bodice to yourself is a lot more difficult than fitting a skirt. That's something I'm still definitely teaching myself and still learning. I think it's definitely a case of trial and error. I think the waist fits fine. The bust area fits pretty good. I just wish that it was a little bit higher up. The sleeves are a bit weird around the shoulders. It's not exactly what I pictured. I think it's a little too long right here. I was picturing that the sleeve was gonna be kind of like that. See the difference? See what I'm saying? But I don't know. That's what the pattern had me do. So yeah, they're definitely a bit longer and a bit tight around here. But other than that, it's pretty comfy. I just have to make sure not to like hulk out of it. I hope that you guys had fun. I just wanted to make a cozy video. It was very dark all of this week, so I'm sorry for that. But maybe, hopefully it adds to the coziness. That's what I'll keep telling myself. If you're ever on the fence about wanting to start sewing your own clothes, I highly recommend it. It's just such a, oh, wow. It is not autumn yet. I highly recommend it. It's very rewarding and I find it a fun challenge each garment that I make, learning more and more. And, you know, I'm sure if I were to make this same blouse 5 years from now, it would look a whole lot different than it does now. But that's kind of the whole process, is learning what works and what doesn't work and problem solving. That is it. I love you guys, whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Friday. We have fun here. I hope you're ready for autumn content. And I will see you in my next video. Bye! You look like a horse. This is the content I bring to the world. I'll just keep holding this pose. It's fine. Also, I can't speak. It's a chopper. Don't look at me.
That's as far as I can't go any further.
Wow. Here you walk. Oh man. Classic. It's so humid that the lens is fogging. Why? Trick or treat.